Hey guys, hello.
Hello. Welcome, guys.
Welcome guys, good evening. Live from my apartment and live from your homes.
Yes, the only walls I've seen the last 4 weeks. Starting
Absolutely.
to drive me crazy.
Absolutely. Today, to do something more exciting and different, we went to the bakery instead of the supermarket just to change just just to change our routine.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
today I also went down to the little ethnic shop outside,
Ah,
pretty close
yeah.
to my house. Yeah, because I've been going to the supermarket, but it's actually nice even to have like a little bit of an interaction. You get to ask for the products.
Yeah.
I've been really missing that.
Yes, me too. It's very important, I think, to maintain, maintain this human interaction, right?
Exactly. And I also, I was thinking today because I thought about going to the supermarket, but then I figured that there's so many little shops near my street. And I think that for those families especially, it's been quite hard, no, to make money these last
Yes,
few weeks.
I agree. Yeah,
Um,
I think supporting small local business is very important.
yeah, I saw also that there is a hashtag going around now for the summer, encouraging people to stay in Italy for the holidays this year.
Ah, to help local businesses to
Yep,
go.
like
So
hotels and tour operators and yeah,
okay, okay. Well, that's no problem for me because that would save money staying in Italy. So that works for me.
exactly.
Okay, that's great. That's really nice. I'll have to look at that. Um, so yeah, guys, this is the last webinar, or one of the last webinars of this evening. My name's Liam. I'm one of the teachers at Myers Meravigli. I am 30 years old and I'm from Manchester in the United Kingdom. And when I'm not teaching, I enjoy cooking, baking, and reading.
All right, fantastic. And some of you, I just finished a 4 to 5, so maybe some of the same people are still on. But my name is Thiago. I am one of Liam's colleagues at Milan Meravigli. I come from Brazil originally. I'm 29 years old, and I've also spent several years in California growing up. And I've been at Milano Meravigli for about 4 years now.
Fantastic. All right. So yeah, guys, you can see at the bottom, we're asking you, what's your name? Where are you from? We're always really interested to know where all of our students come from, especially because, Tiago, we now have some people joining us from France and from Spain, don't we?
Yes, I just had someone join the last hour. We had a student from Lyon join us, so that was great. Yeah.
That's really nice. Really good to get a different mix of people because people have, they have different questions, different difficulties. They have other problems that people don't have, and that's always interesting.
Yeah, and in some ways it's funny because we get even more perspectives than usually teaching in person. Because even though Milan, where we both live, has a lot of people from other regions in Italy, it's
Yeah,
great to get people from Salerno and Rome and now France and Spain. It's quite
yeah.
interesting, yeah, to get the different perspectives.
I agree. I think it's really interesting. So yeah, guys, just anytime you want, just type in, tell us where you're from, tell us what's your name. And without anything else, Tiago, what are we talking about tonight?
We are talking about home improvement. Maybe we can start with that word improvement.
Mm,
Let's start with the verb to improve. What does that mean, Liam? To improve
yeah,
something.
yeah. So to improve, it basically, in a very basic way, it means to either make something better, or it can mean for you to get better at something. Okay, so it depends. You can improve something as an object. For example, home improvement. This is ways to make your home better. Okay, ways to improve your home, for example. But for example, many students, when they come to the school, they tell us that they want to improve their English. Okay, to improve your English. Okay, to make your English better. Okay, so that's the general meaning of improve. It means to, to make something better than its current situation. For example, we are all hoping that the quarantine and self-isolation of Italy will improve the situation with the coronavirus. For example, we hope that the situation gets better, or we hope that the situation will make things better.
Absolutely. Yeah, another example of improvement that we see quite a lot is when in the context of self-improvement.
Absolutely.
Learning English is an example of something you can do, of course, to improve your English skills, but also self-improvement, to make yourself better, in this case, by learning a language, being able to communicate with more people.
Awesome. Yeah. So guys, improve, as Thiago's very helpfully written up here, you can see is the verb. So improvement, that is the noun. Okay. The noun form of that word is improvement. Okay. So, and home improvement is the way to make our homes better. All right. So, Thiago, what are we talking about tonight?
So tonight we are talking about the present simple. We are also talking about the two verbs that we use for possession, verb to have or to have got, including the third person, and also improvements around the house. So any changes that you want to make, etc.
Absolutely. Yeah, cool. So this is a great focus, guys, because we're looking at both grammar and vocabulary together. So I think this one will definitely help you to improve your English. Okay, so let's jump straight in here. We've got some questions. Okay. But before we begin, Thiago, the name of this part here, your home makeover, is that a synonym of improvement when we talk about our home?
It's sort of related, yes, to improvement. Makeover is a huge change, I would say. There are some TV shows, actually, right? There's one's called Extreme Makeover, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
That's the name of it. And that's
Yeah.
when people come to your house, they pay for the family to stay in a hotel for a few days. And when they come back, they are surprised by a full makeover. So a big change of the maybe internal and external spaces.
Fantastic. What about people? Can people have makeovers? Because we said people can improve. Can people have makeovers?
Sure, I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, like, I
A
mean,
makeover, yeah.
if you say, I got a makeover, maybe because you get a big change to your, I don't know, hairstyle, or maybe how you dress, or things like that. Your makeup, if you're a person who wears makeup, for example.
Exactly.
All right, awesome. Excellent. All right, guys, just to say again, anytime you see questions here on the screen, please feel free to answer as well. Thiago and I will talk about the questions, but we would love it if you guys could contribute some answers as well. So, Thiago, I'll ask you this first question. What rooms have you got in your home?
So in my apartment here in Milan, I've got one big open space upstairs, which is basically a combination of a kitchen, a dining room, and a living room, but it's all one big open space. I've got 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, and one. It's a sort of a study, but mostly we just store things down there as well. So a storage room in a certain way.
So how many people in total do you live with?
So I live with two other people. So those
Okay.
are my flatmates, my housemates.
Yes. Okay.
And so it's three of us in total living in this apartment or
Ex
flat.
Yeah, apartment or flats. That's a good one. And I'll just put up here. I think I don't know if Tiago's right in that. I'm just going to say like, um, flat, room, house, mate. All of these are people you live with. Okay, so your flatmate, your roommate, your housemate. I mean, I think originally we would have said that roommate is more American English and flat rate is more British English. But even now, I feel like we kind of, I say roommate sometimes if I'm talking.
Ah, do you really?
Yeah, but I grew up watching a lot of American
Ah, that's
television.
funny. Yeah.
I'm quite I'm not such I don't like this kind of snobby
Such a
attitude about
purist. Yeah.
American English. No, absolutely not. Sometimes I find American words actually better than British words. I
Yeah,
always
because
say,
I mean, I would assume that roommate, I mean, it also comes from kind of like a cultural, because I mean, most people in the US, if you are sharing a living space, it's in college or university. And in that case, you're usually sharing a room. And so it's
yeah,
common to
that's
have a
true.
roommate. Nowadays, things are changing. Young people don't have the money that is required to own their own homes a lot of the times. People are not getting married so young. And so it's common now to actually share a house or share an apartment. But,
Mm,
out of tradition, I guess people say roommate more because I think it goes
mm,
back to the college days. Whereas I
absolutely.
would imagine perhaps in Europe in general, um, flatmates have been more common, more so than in the US for a longer time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the big difference for us is that your flatmate is, for example, when you're in a flat, okay, so when you're in an apartment, okay, that is the people you live with. And guys, we should say these are not like it's not your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, okay? We're talking about
Oh, yeah.
friends. Okay, these are non-romantic relationships. For example, I live with my girlfriend. I would never say she is my flatmate. Okay, it's a different kind of relationship.
Yes.
But yeah, I would say that for us, housemate is also about university because typically in Britain, in your first year of university, you're in the university accommodation. So you have flatmates because usually each of you has their own individual room. And then when you leave after the first year, you will usually live in a house. A big group of you will live 4, 5, 6, even 8 people will live in a big house. That's quite common. And then they become your housemates. So it really depends on what kind of building you live in.
Exactly.
Okay, and yeah, rooms that I've got a pretty small, simple apartment. What Italians might call a bilocale. I've got a bedroom, which I'm in at the moment. I have a small bathroom. I have a kitchen and a living room. But similar to Tiago, my kitchen and living room, they're kind of connected. Okay. There's like a little separation in the kitchen, but you can walk around it. Okay. And in English, and again, Tiago, I don't know if this is a more British English thing, but we call this an open plan.
Oh, yes, an open plan. Yeah.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, open space, I might have been influenced by Italians because Italians always say open space.
Ah, okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, so if you say open plan in English, guys, it's usually if you say I have an open plan apartment, for example, it means that there's no wall separating the two rooms. It means that they're connected to each other. You can just walk to the living room to the kitchen. No
Yeah.
door, no wall, anything like that.
Yeah. Which I actually kind of prefer, to be honest. It was definitely something to get used to after moving to Italy. But
Mm,
now, yeah, I appreciate this open plan. I feel like it's easier to clean. Of
that's
course,
definitely true.
it is small houses here tend to be quite small, and so if we have people over, it's nice to be able to still be all together without having to be in separate rooms. You know, if you have walls, then it
Yes,
becomes harder.
that's a good point. I didn't think of it like that. When parties are allowed again, when we're allowed to have people in our houses, it's something to consider. Yeah, Simona's just, I think, Thiago confirmed what you said.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah, open space for kitchen and living room. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you very much, Simona. Thank you very much. Thank you for contributing. Thiago, what do you like about your home?
What I really like about my home is the fact that it is a little more modern than most apartments that you find to rent here in Milan. You know,
Oh,
for
I'm
example,
jealous.
I have like the wooden floors and a little bit of the lower ceiling. You know, the furniture in general. I mean, I have a lot of orange, as you can see from my couch behind me. Like the entire area is orange, which gets a little bit too much sometimes, actually. But I do appreciate the fact that it's a bit more modern because I've had many older houses, which can be classy, but I think you need the furniture to make it nice. And I don't have the furniture. So it ends up being this big space that feels kind of sad. So
Yes,
that's
a bit.
my
Yeah.
favorite.
Okay. Oh, that's good. The orange furniture, Tiago, was that your furniture or was it there when you moved in?
It was here when I moved in. And
Excellent.
it's, yeah, all orange, yes. It's quite
Excellent.
energizing, but if you want to relax, it's a bit too much.
Yeah, it's almost like strobe lighting. You got to be
Yeah.
careful.
What about you,
Um,
Liam? What do you like about your flat?
yeah, our house, our apartment, our flat is quite old. I would say not very old. There's some modern furniture in it, but I think my favorite thing about it is the kitchen. I really like our kitchen because there is a really good workspace where you can prepare food. There's a lot of storage space where we can keep food. And most importantly, at least for me, there is a gas cooker, okay, or stove, okay, which I really, really like because I don't like. This is just me. I don't know if people agree or disagree. I really don't like cooking with electric heat or induction heat.
Mm,
I prefer cooking with
I'm the
gas.
same, yeah.
Call me old fashioned, but I like it because I think it's easier to control, I would
Yeah.
say.
Wait, Simona, so this is wait, this maybe that was
This,
like an we were typing with your phone and it did the
yeah.
Italian, but so what is the color of the bath? No, the bathroom thankfully is not orange, Simona. That is where I take refuge from the orange.
Good question. Good
Sometimes I
question,
just hang
Simona.
out in the bathroom. I just spend time there just to escape the orange. But
Good
no, it is
question.
not. And my room is also not orange, so I
Oh,
can retreat.
Tiago. This low was Tiago. That must have been autocorrect.
There you go. Perfect.
Tiago, what is the color in the bathroom? Very good. Good
Yeah,
question, Simona. I like that.
yeah.
So, Tiago, the third question then. What don't you like about your home? Is the
Well,
orange furniture a big part of it for
that
you?
is part of it, though. You know, I don't dislike it terribly. It kind of gives a nice energy to the house as well. During the day, it's less like overwhelming. It's less aggressive because you have the light outside. You know, but my what I don't like about my home so much is that it's on the ground floor.
Ah,
So I don't have any balcony. I don't have a terrace. And so I don't have any way of going outside that is not going out in the street. And especially in these, you know, quarantine weeks, I feel very kind of closed off inside all
yeah.
the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a shame. Um, yeah, I mean, I have a kind of it's like the opposite problem. We do have a balcony, but what we don't have is light. Okay, because I think you said you've got these windows that let in the light. In my apartment, we have these three very narrow windows,
Really?
and yeah, and they are all at the front of the apartment. So we get some light in the morning, but as soon as it's the afternoon, as soon as it's maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, especially in the winter, we need to turn the lights on because there's just not enough light. We haven't got enough light in our apartment, unfortunately.
I see. So then you just have to use artificial light always.
Exactly, which isn't great for money, for the electricity bill.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, changes you want to make? Yeah, I mean, for me, I would say I'd like some more windows and some better lighting, definitely.
Yeah, for me, I guess, I mean, of course, it would be lovely to have a balcony, but I also understand that it's not something that can be done. It's just the way the house is. It's on the ground floor.
Yeah.
You have the street right outside. But maybe there may be some little things that I guess could be a little better. For example, it would be nice to have a dishwasher, which is something that I
Okay.
don't have.
Yeah, same.
And my shower is also quite old. I would like to buy a new shower if possible.
Okay. Yeah, I absolutely understand the dishwasher because we, rather frustratingly, we have a dishwasher, but it doesn't work,
Oh,
which is
what a
very annoying.
tease.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, so we're going to do some vocabulary now, and we're looking at the exterior. Great expression, what a tease, which I love. So yeah, guys, like I said, if you want to contribute and just tell us what you think, you've got 6 pictures here, A, B, C, D, E, F. And we've got roof, windows, stairs, garden, door, and balcony. So Thiago, do you want to take the first 3 or while people maybe type in their answers?
Yep, absolutely. Wait, Simona has a comment as well. My
hands.
Your hands are the dishwasher. That's great.
Yeah, we would say
dishwasher. Yeah, good job, Simona.
Yeah, almost perfect. Yeah, you would say my hands are the dishwasher because that's the object.
Wonderful.
But really good. Simona, same, exactly the same problem. And I think Thiago, same for you.
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned this yesterday. I was doing, I think maybe Simona was in the lesson with Anika. We were doing a trip to IKEA. And I also mentioned this, that when I first moved here, I was really bad with being able to do dishes, by hand. It would take me a really long time. I wasn't very efficient. I would waste a lot of water. But now I'm actually quite quick. Yeah, I've gotten used to it. In fact, it would be strange going back to the dishwasher because in some ways it's faster. Because you still have to kind of, depending on the dishwasher you have, you still have to rinse it a bit. So
I understand. I know what you mean, but it's just it's that nice feeling of stack them all in the dishwasher, close it, turn it on, walk away.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. TT has, I think, given us.
Nice.
That looks all right. So TT says A is
on fire. Great job.
Fantastic. Yeah, those all look correct to me. Really, really good. And I think, Thiago, just while I put up the correct answers here, do we have another comment there from Simona?
Yes, we have Simona, who was telling us that she would like to have a luxury villa. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So in English, we have this expression, which is like the Italian, if you say in Italian, like magari, in English, we say, I wish. Okay, I wish. That's our version of magari. If you say something that is not very realistic, but you want it, you say, I wish.
Yeah,
Simona said, I have a small house without the dishwasher. Same. The same problem, Simona. I understand. We feel your pain, don't we, Thiago?
It's a struggle. The word struggle, it's a difficulty. It's kind of like an expression. It's a struggle. It's a big difficulty.
Yeah, we talk about something being a struggle. Just because of the time, let's just want to focus on the vocabulary for now. We got now the interior of the house. Okay. So again, guys, if you just want to take a look here at these items, Tiago, what's the name for things like my desk, sofa, chair, table? What do we call
Ooh,
these?
actually, Simona probably knows this. We did it yesterday when we were talking about IKEA. So let me
Oh,
ask
nice.
Simona. She might know this. So desk, sofa, table. What is the name of the category of these objects? So let's just wait a second. Meanwhile, TT has a comment. Says, at my home, I have, in this case, stairs, TT, because it's plural. We don't need a, okay? So I have stairs, which connect the first floor with a second flat, which are which there are bedrooms. So just some small kind of mechanical. Here I can write down. So I would say, at my home, I have stairs,
Yeah, and
which
also,
connect.
sorry, Tiago, but just
Uh-huh.
TT as well. When you say they connect the first floor with a second flat, do you possibly mean a second? Because if you say they connect the first flat, that sounds like there is a second different apartment. Sounds like you are in two different apartments are connected. Maybe it's floor that we mean. But if you just look, TT, where Tiago has just made those little corrections. It says, at my home, I have stairs which connect the first floor to a second where the bedrooms are. Very nice. I'm jealous, TT. That sounds fantastic.
Yes. Where are you writing to
Um,
us from, TT? What city?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Where are these apartments? Tell us where they are so Tiago and I can get one. Okay.
So, all right.
All right.
Well,
So,
I guess we can give the answer just to the category.
look
We
at
would say furniture is the words that we were talking about before. So furniture is the category for these things: desk, sofa, table, etc.
Yeah. So this is what you meant before about going to IKEA, for example. So yeah, the names of these, I'll just put them up. Maybe some of you guys are typing and it's just coming in a bit slowly. Do not worry. A, we've got sofa. B, we've got desk. C, we've got chair. D, table. E is the bathtub, or you can just say bath. And F is the fireplace. So Tiago, I was saying that with bathtub, we can just say bath. Would you add any comments? Do you want to add any comments to any of these other items?
The only one I would also add is that sofa, you can also say couch, at least in American English. It's much more common than sofa.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because
Um,
sofa is what I say because I'm from Britain.
yeah.
So British English, sofa, American English, couch.
Yeah, it would be a bit, almost like a little poshy, I think, in American English, say sofa. So most people would say
Yeah,
couch.
we also in Britain have this word, which is not so common anymore, but you still hear it, which is settee. Okay,
Ah,
and
really?
and yes, my mum says this. Settee is a Hindu word, and it is just the Hindu word for sofa or couch. But thanks to the legacy of the British Empire, it's one of those words like bungalow or pajamas or veranda that has entered English vocabulary.
Very
All those words
interesting.
come from Hindi. Simona says, fireplace, is it? Yeah, fireplace, exactly.
Yeah, the fireplace is the part that is inside the house, but then you also have the chimney, which is the part
Mm.
that connects to the exterior. Because I know that in Italian the word for fireplace resembles chimney. For us, inside the house, the fireplace, the chimney is what takes the smoke outside. So
Excellent.
fireplace, and then we have slightly different but still kind of connected, the chimney.
Yeah, I think that's a really good distinction that's worth explaining, actually, because even like I get confused with the Italian word because it sounds so similar to the English word chimney. So
Yeah.
it's confusing for me as well sometimes. And the last one I would say, again, it's the same in Italian, but desk and table. You might think, maybe some of you think, what's the difference? I would just say that a desk is somewhere we use for studying, writing, or reading, whereas a table is just something for support, and it's usually what we use for eating, for example. So it's like desk is work and study, table is food, I guess, I would say.
Yep, definitely.
Yes, Simone is just confirming the similarities between the two. Thank you very much, Simona. Okay, so Tiago, furniture in your apartment. I can see behind you there's a sofa. Am I right?
Yes, I've got of course, an orange couch behind me. I've got, yeah, here, I'll tell you all the orange furniture I've got. So I've got an
Okay.
orange couch. I've got 4 orange chairs. I've got an orange table. I can show you guys. Well, I guess I got some clothes
Oh,
behind me.
great.
Maybe not. I've got orange cabinets. I've got an orange fridge. I've got an orange freezer. I've got more cabinets.
Oh
Uh,
my God.
all right, I would say, yeah. And also I got like kind of like a footrest sort of thing behind me here, which is also orange.
Yeah, like
You see there?
Tiago, you're
Uh,
you're killing Simona. Simona's dying here.
Orange is a new black. Hey, we're taking this seriously.
Absolutely. Okay. That is great. That is great. I love it. I love how orange it is. Any other furniture before I tell you what I've got in my apartment?
Sure. And then, of course, and downstairs we have the bedroom. So, of course, we've got a couple of beds. And in the bathroom, well, I guess not so much furniture, but as any Italian home, we've also got bidets, which is something I really appreciate about Italy.
The bidet, yeah, it's how you set like the world with bidet, the world without bidet. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you divide the world. Awesome. Well, okay. In my flat, I have got a bed in the bedroom. I've also got 2 little small tables on the left side and the right side of the bed, which in English, these are rather prosaically just known as bedside tables. Okay, these are the little tables that you have next to your bed. So oh, Simona, great question.
I do very much like orange juice, Simona. Yes, but I have to be honest. Anything that is orange that I buy now, it's like I try to avoid it. If it's like I don't know, if I'm buying, for example, when I go to the supermarket and I buy the like sliced bread, I can buy one that is like has an orange packaging or the other one that is red. I go for the red one because I don't want to add any more orange to my kitchen.
So that's your little act of rebellion, of resistance against the orange. Amazing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, these they're called bedside tables. These little tables. Then in the living room, we have got a sofa. We've got 2 coffee tables. Okay, they're called coffee tables, which is the little table you have usually in front of the sofa. We have a dining room with 4 chairs. We have some cabinets. And also in our bathroom, we have a shower and a bidet. And in the kitchen, we've got a dishwasher that doesn't work. We've got an oven, a cooker, and a refrigerator. But I guess those are more appliances than furniture. So maybe those wouldn't count. Tiago, Simona has another very important question for you
Oh,
here.
am I the Orange Hulk? I can become the Orange Hulk, Simona. It usually happens when students don't cancel their lessons. So if they're a no-show, especially for revisions and checkpoints, then I turn into the Orange Hulk. Yes.
Phrasal verb, guys. Hulk up. Okay, to hulk up, phrasal verb. Fantastic.
Yeah, TT also he or she, I'm not sure, shared some comments. So I've got chairs, which was corrected after. I've got chairs, tables, sofas, but I haven't got. In this case, I would add the article TT because it's singular. I haven't got a fireplace, and
Yeah.
I'd like to have it. I'd like to have it.
Yeah. So yeah, remember TT that if you say I'd like, it's to plus the infinitive. Okay, I'll just write that. Okay, it's I'd like to with infinitive, so I'd like to have it. All right, great. Okay, guys, this part we'll talk about some verbs that we use when we talk about changing our home. The four verbs are paint, build, put, and change. So, Tiago, I don't know if you want to say anything about any of those verbs before we let the students maybe have a go at
No,
some of these questions.
I think it's all right. If anything, I just wanted to just bring everyone's attention to the very nice "why don't you?" It's a really nice way of giving suggestions. You
Oh,
probably have
yeah.
learned you should. You should is definitely okay. You can use that, but a more I wouldn't say necessarily super advanced, but it's definitely like an alternative way that people use quite a lot is "why don't you?"
Yeah.
Um, these are ways of giving suggestions.
Yeah, I agree. It's not advanced, but I would say it sounds more natural. It's something that we would say. I think that's a really good one for them to know. Why don't you? Yeah, it's a way. And you can see, guys, you just use it with the infinitive. Why don't you go? Why don't you try? Why don't you play, for example? Okay, so I don't know if just because of the delay, if students maybe are writing their answers here. I don't know, Tiago, should we go ahead and just do these dialogues
Yeah.
or
So here, tell
yeah?
me what your problem is first, and I'll give you a suggestion.
All right, sure. So here's my problem. My son is 19 now, and he doesn't like his bedroom furniture.
Ah, of course. So that makes sense. He's 19 now. So why don't you change the furniture?
Excellent. Why don't you change? Okay. Let's see. This one.
Simona.
Oh, that's a
There's
really good
another question.
question.
Really nice question, Simona. Now, to keep it simple, should is more of a suggestion. Could we use more when we're talking about a possibility, although it's also okay to use you could. I would say the difference is that you should is a general suggestion, so it can be realistic or not realistic, whereas you could is always realistic. For example, if you tell me that you are stressed, you have too much work, etc., I could tell you, Simona, you should go to Costa Rica for 3 months and just relax on the beach. But of course, this is not realistic for a lot of us because we have to work, etc. So I would say, all right, well, you could spend the weekend up in the mountains. So in that case, it's a little bit more real. It's always realistic, whereas you should can be realistic or not. It's more general. So that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, and yeah, and I would say as well, with should and could, if you want to be totally realistic as well with both of them, you can say that could focuses on something that's possible, but should focuses on something that's a good idea. So, for example, if someone says, you know, if I lived in Milan, could I drive or could I use a car? And you would say, well, you could, that means it's possible, but you should use the metro. Means that, yes, that possibility exists, but my recommendation, the better idea, is this alternative.
Exactly. Great.
Okay.
Now my problem here, Liam, is that I haven't got enough rooms at home.
Okay, so I would say that's a big problem and it needs a big improvement. So I would say, why don't you build a new room?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you build a new room? So build, guys, for those of you who don't know, is the verb, and to, he's beaten me to it, exactly. It's almost like a synonym of construct something. Yeah, exactly. You know, build a house, build a model, build a room, etc. Okay, Thiago, my problem is I hate this color, or maybe the color, of our bedroom.
Okay. Why don't you paint the walls?
Fantastic. Yeah. Oops, sorry, hang on. I've just done something I don't understand. Hang on. My screen just, sorry guys, my screen just went a little bit haywire for a second. Let me just get that back up.
Do you have it there? Because
Apologies
I
there.
have it here as well. If you want, Liam. Oh, you got
No,
it. Perfect.
I got it. Yeah, just my screen just went a bit haywire for a second. Yeah, why don't you paint the walls? So paint. This is a noun and a verb. So you know, paint is the action when you do this. For example, when you paint the walls. But paint is also the material. It's the liquid that you use. So, you know, it's one of those strange things in English, right, Thiago, where you can say, I paint with paint. I use paint to paint,
Exactly.
for example. Okay, Thiago, my problem. My bathtub is old and cracked.
So why don't you put in a new one?
Fantastic. So, yeah, put in, those of you who don't know, put in this context means to install. Okay, yeah, to put it, and again, it's kismet between Thiago and I. I'm telling you, it's mind meld territory between the two. Okay, so maybe in this last part, Thiago, we've got a question here about what rooms have you got? Okay, and this example here. So maybe we can talk about, because maybe students think there's this thing they've heard, I have got, but I don't think they need to be too worried because they pretty much are the same.
They are. I would only be careful with the auxiliary when you're asking a question or using it in the negative.
Yeah.
If you're using it in the affirmative, I've got, really, it's the same, guys. Don't worry too much about it. But if you're asking the question with have, I would always use the auxiliary do. So do you have, I don't have. But if you're using have got, the auxiliary is have. Have you got? I haven't got. That is the biggest thing to pay attention to, but not in the affirmative.
Yeah, that's a really good point because I think, Thiago, maybe you agree, one of the most common mistakes that we hear, even from higher level students, is when they're talking about possessions in the negative and they say, for example, I haven't a pen. Really common. Okay, so it's going to make that because, yeah, like Thiago said, this use of the auxiliary verb is very important. So if we say, I haven't a pen, okay, that is wrong. Because what do we need to say instead, Thiago?
We could say, I don't have a pen, or
Yeah.
I haven't got a pen.
Exactly. And there's no difference, Thiago, saying I have and I've got. I mean, are we in this question of formal, informal, or is it just the same?
I guess there an element of it is also American and British, isn't it? But for me, I would say have got is just a bit more casual. I say it in if I'm casually talking. Oh yeah, I've got.
Yeah.
But not a big difference, not really.
No, no, not maybe in the past, but today I think they are pretty much interchangeable. So yeah, so for example, if we're talking about changes that we want to make, so home improvement, I would say, for example, I would say I've got a small bathroom. Okay, I've got a small bathroom. That is a problem for me in my flat. What about you, Tiago?
Um, for me, is I haven't got any outside space.
Ah, yeah, I haven't got any outside space. Yeah, so and then, but you can see in these examples, Tiago, you and I can give each other advice. Okay, so although it's a bit hard with, I haven't got any outside space, it's kind of limited, I guess, what I can tell you with that one.
Yeah, I guess I could maybe install like bigger windows in a certain way to get
Yeah,
the illusion that I have some space outside.
yeah, because the only suggestion I can think would be to say, why don't you move?
Why don't you move? Yeah, no, I'm not leaving this house.
Yeah, because yeah, guys, to move, obviously, like in general, that just means like physical movement. But um, when we talk about our home, our house, our apartment, to move means to change where you live. So if you say, for example, I moved from Calabria to Lazio, for example, it means I lived in Calabria, now I live in Lazio, but it could even just be I moved from this apartment to this apartment. So when we're talking about in the context of homes and houses and our location to move. What about me, Tiago? It's kind of the second example. I've got a horrible bathroom. It's way too small. It's quite difficult to clean because it's kind of cramped. And I don't know. What advice could you
Now,
give me?
yeah, I mean that's a difficult one because it's not your house, right?
Nope.
But maybe why don't you talk to the owner and
Mm.
ask the owner to maybe put down the walls and make more space for the bathroom, perhaps?
Maybe it's something we've considered. Guys, we've got like pretty much just about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to go. I don't know if any of you want to tell us about any problems maybe you have, and Tiago and I could give some suggestions. Tiago explained that we can use why don't you and you should. Those are both great expressions for suggestions. I don't know, Tiago, anything you want to add in the last minute or so? We've just got a couple of minutes left.
No, I think it's okay. Yeah, if you guys would like to add anything that you feel like you want to change in your house, you can even give yourself advice if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, true. I would just maybe go a couple of things on the vocab, Tiago, here. Curtains, these
Yeah,
are, yeah, which I think sometimes in US English, American English, do you call them drapes?
yeah, drapes or curtains. Yeah.
Is it like, it's not like an East Coast, West Coast thing, it's just,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. I think, see, in day to day, I've always said curtain.
okay, all right, cool. I have
Drape,
no idea.
yeah, there are like some expressions with it, but no,
Are
I'd
drapes
say mostly, yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe drapes are the big heavy ones, the kind of old-fashioned ones. But yeah, guys, curtains is the fabric usually, the kind of heavy fabric that we use when we want to block our windows. Okay, when you want to keep out the light or you don't want people looking in, things like that. Fabrizio has given us a really good one here. I've got I've got just maybe that's a typo. I've got a modern house. I've got a modern house. Very good. Okay, fantastic. Great example to close on. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you, guys.
Hope this was helpful. Okay, Simona.
I've got a bad bathroom. I should paint it orange. It is correct, but I would consider that choice very carefully, Simona.
Yes. Yeah,
Maybe
think
not
about that
orange.
one.
Think about that one, yes.
Think about that one.
Maybe you can do one wall can be orange, but don't overdo it.
Fantastic.
Thank you,
All right,
Titi.
guys. Thank you, Titi. Yeah, guys, keep an eye out on Instagram and Facebook and other social media so you know what's coming up, the rest of this week and next week. And yeah, it's, good night from me, and we will hopefully see you all again soon.
Absolutely, guys. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Night, guys. Bye.